the hot cocoa one. It only comes around Christmas, so I think I like it because it's at Christmas. Hot cocoa. There's like marshmallows and peppermint in it. Yeah.
Second favorite?
Chocolate mint or banana chocolate, which they'll do sometimes for you if you like slip them an extra quarter. They have like casseroles every day, and I have an issue with casseroles, especially when there's broccoli and cheese, and there's always broccoli and cheese. Yeah, like I'm aggressive, like I see it and I'm like, oh, casserole, you know? Not really. Bethany Bostron calls me Captain all the time, and I'm not sure that she knows my real name, so that's okay.
How long?
At Nationals, we go to Olive Garden on Thursday night. Yes. And we usually have a breadstick limit, although this year we didn't. But Trey usually puts a cap on it, like 3 or 4. But I think a couple people ate like 6. And that's okay. But we always get like pasta, and we just like drink water, and we eat all our breadsticks, and it's actually really fun because you just feel like you're getting special treatment in this special restaurant. We always say love 'em when we like give our like, instead of going like Rams, we say love 'em, because there was this one group that would like always chant like kill 'em, kill 'em, kill 'em, like right before meets, and Trey was just like, hey, let's just love 'em, like let's love 'em. So like we do it before every meet, and the girls always pray in a huddle before we like run, and we always stick our right foot in the middle of the circle as we pray. Yeah, I eat pancakes, and if we're on the road, I eat bagels. It's from my freshman year's cereal and bagels. But I'm not super picky about like anything. I really am particular about how I tie my shoes. Like they have to be just the certain way. So I usually retie them like 4 or 5 times before I'm like ready, because they just like aren't tight enough, or like they're too loose. And I'm really picky about it because I don't want my shoe to like fall off during the race or like cut off my circulation or something. I think people should go to cross country meets to watch what runners do before they race, because I think it's funny. Some people go to the bathroom like 8 times. You just watch them. It's funny. It's all mental.
Interesting.
Like, does retying my shoes really help me? No. That's okay. It's kind of a tradition that only I do. My freshman year, there was a girl named Angela Skane. Well, that's her new name now, but she was a captain, and she always called Coach Trey Coach Blob, because one day he was like, oh, I feel like a blob, like he ate too much or something, and she started calling him Coach Blob, and so she's passed it down. So some of my favorite memories are just yelling Coach Blob across like a cross-country course, like, Coach Blob, come here, and he responds to it sometimes, which is great, but we pass it down, so now the freshmen are catching on. We're getting there. It's a pretty good memories. Yeah, I really like it here. It's hard to not associate it with running because I run every day, but I really like when we do floor things. Like when I was in the dorms, they would have like the Christmas decorating time, and you would like decorate your floor, and it was like all you did for an entire week was like decorate your floor and like buy suck-up bribes to like bribe the people who were judging. I loved that time of year. Like all we did was like sit in our pajamas with Coco at like 4 in the morning carving up gingerbread men. Like some of my best memories were made over gingerbread men up in the dorms.
Nice.
It's significantly different than being an athlete, but at the same time it's very similar, like to being just like someone who's on the team. I love it. I love being able to be the one who, if someone's having a hard day, they feel like they can come to me and like talk to me. And because we don't have coaches at every practice, because we practice so early, we only have Trey and Bree there on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's just the captains and the team. So you kind of feel like a coach at sometimes, like helping dictate, like, should I run today? Like, how far should I run? Like, my knee hurts. I don't know how far to go. Like, that's your responsibility, and you just have to kind of throw it out there and make those big decisions. So I've loved it. I think it's a responsibility that's an honor to have, because dictating someone else's running schedule, like, it's kind of a big deal. Like, that kind of responsibility is something that should not be taken lightly. And I've loved every second. I would say that I've actually changed a lot spiritually by being a captain, because it just, like, that empathetic nature, you have to just start, like, gathering, like sometimes I feel like a mom, and that's totally fine, but you just learn to be there for people, and even if, like, you're having a bad day running, you have to be okay. Like, if you just had the worst set of intervals in your life, you have to be like, it's okay, like, I'm all right. Whereas you don't necessarily feel that responsibility to be always so upbeat when you're just like a regular teammate, because then you're like, it's okay, I had a bad day. But captains, like, people look at you, so you always have to be aware of like, I got to be really upbeat right now, despite the fact that I ran 5 seconds slower than I was supposed to. Mm-hmm. So it's a mental battle, but like, you just learn to be empathetic and to just kind of suck it up, because it's not for you, it's for your team.
Right.
And it's just for so much higher than what you're being, you know, like, this is for God, this is like his talents that he gave me, like, I just need to be a good steward of them, so let's go, let's do it. I've learned that waking up early is really good for you. Like, honestly, who would wake up at 5 a.m.? Nobody. But you actually have some really good moments with God at 5 a.m. in the morning, because you don't have anything else to do. I mean, it's 5 a.m. Life lessons like that are good. The mental perseverance that you gain in cross country, I think, is applicable to everywhere that you have in life. Like, you always just have to persevere, and things will turn out. Like, the injuries I've seen people go through, like, not even my own personal experiences, but just watching people, like, go through things, it, like, just teaches you so much about integrity and just, like, the grace of God, and, like, watching people just go through things and being okay with it. You just learn a lot from your teammates. It's close. Like, you recognize people in the hall. Like, you might not know their name, but, like, you know that, like, oh, that person's in my class. Or, like, oh, I know that person. I see them all the time in the cafeteria. And just, like, acknowledging people and knowing that you fit in with them somehow is, like, really helpful. Because I feel like when you're just staring at a mass of faces you don't know, you just start to feel really small. And when you're, like, walking around people and, like, a face you see is familiar, you're like, oh, yeah, like, I totally belong here. Like, I know these people. These are people, like, that's my best friend's friend, you know? Like, associations are huge for me. So, like, being here and, like, being able to just kind of know people and kind of just getting that feel like they care about you, that's huge. Other than cross country, other than running downtown, which I love, I am going to miss all of my professors. The English department has really great professors, and they work really hard with you to, like, make things work. And I don't know how many times I've, like, texted my professors. Like, I have their number, and, like, I'll just text them and be like, I am so lost right now. Like, I feel horrible. I feel like a big heap of nothing. Like, please explain to me what this is. And we just have really good communication, like, emailing relationships. Like, I text some of my professors, which is probably totally weird, but, I mean, my professors are great. I'm going to miss them a ton. Trey and Bree. I just remember that I came in as a freshman looking to be in cross country, and Trey, like, I was at one of those welcome meetings, and Trey was sitting at, like, the sports table, and he, like, totally ignored me. And I don't think he realized I was looking to be in cross country, but I just remember sitting next to him, and I was like, I think that's the cross country coach. And he didn't say anything, and I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't join. Like, maybe they aren't looking for new people. And I told him that story, and he's like, I had no idea. Like, I had no idea you wanted to run, and he felt awful, but it's so funny just, like, thinking about it. Just because of how much he cares now. Like, he cares so much about my career, and when I had to have surgery, I would sit in his office and, like, cry. And, like, what is Trey gonna do with a crying girl? Yeah, hard situation for him, but, I mean, he dealt everything, like, so well. Just, like, I would go in his office and talk strategy with him for, like, hours, or I would just go in and talk about how I was concerned about this, about our team, or I'd just, like, walk in crying and be like, Trey, like, just tell me the workout now because I need to go for a run, and, like, I'm really upset, and he would handle it. He handled everything, and I never felt like I didn't know what was going on, or, like, that I didn't know where we were going. Like, he always gave us just enough to see ahead of, like, where we wouldn't worry about it, but, like, we knew where we were going. And the same is with Bree. I mean, she handled everything with so much grace, and, like, she works on campus, and she doesn't work there, so she lives here. So, like, when those when there's no one in the offices, like, Trey is home, she's there. So, like, you can go to her at, like, 9 p.m. and just, like, have a cry session, and it's totally cool. Like, it's fine. And they both are just great people who care about you more than they care about themselves.